What's up with the music?
What do you mean? What's up with the music?
Did you do something with the intro music there?
No, same as last week.
Oh, I know what it is. I had Venturi's workshop up here, and it was on a loop. It's in my headset, and I was like, why am I hearing everything double? Okay, got it handled. Steve, I did not know you were wearing a uniform tonight, or I'd have dressed up.
I told you, got to put on your tux this week.
I don't own a tux. I mean, I got ties, I guess, but I don't ever wear them. So, well, congratulations! You've won the costume party that we were having. If we were having a costume party, Steve, you won. Kudos, you got it with your top hat and your tuxedo. You kind of got that Jack the Ripper look going on,
though. Yeah, Carla told me I looked like Dr. Demento or something like that. So.
I hear you. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to scroll. We've been scrolling and talking through the comments. Hello, everybody. There's no way we're going to get to all the comments and saying hey to everybody. Some of you I know are just here for the goodies. That's fine. That's cool. That's why we do it. But please, while you're here waiting on the goodie drawing, think about the possibility, the things that you could learn from the two of us. And just like today, I was helping somebody with troubleshooting a brand new machine, because sometimes even brand new machines have issues. And we was actually able to get the machine up and running so that he can have a little fun. But there are some things that's going to have to be done by the support team for the machine. But good news is he's making smoke, so that's what counts. But welcome to the 100th consecutive edition of Sunday Night Live. And Steve, How has your journey of Sunday Night Live, how has it been for you, sir? I mean, I see you got all dressed up for us. Let's hear it. What is your thoughts on the Sunday Night Live, and how has it impacted your life so far?
Well, how has it impacted my life? Well, tonight I am going to be missing the Vikings game because they
other than missing sports and being inconvenienced, and other than that, how has it positively impacted your life? Let's put it that way.
No, I enjoy this, and it's fun to hang out with people. It's fun to weekly come on here and chat with you. I mean, I know you and I chat back and forth quite a bit throughout the week and such, but yeah, it's it's something I look forward to. There's and the nice thing I like about the way we've been doing it is we kind of keep it going with the questions and the comments from the viewers. We try to keep it as open as possible where we can answer questions. I mean, we got some show and tell things going on with equipment and projects, and I'm sure I'll be showing a little sneak preview here in a little bit of something I've been working on. But yeah, it's even if you're an introvert, you got to find your clan or your group, that you hang out with and you share stories with. And so, part of it is it's good. It's good for the mental juices as well. So yeah.
Well, from my perspective, I will say, even after having a YouTube channel for a little while, because if you think about it, I hadn't been doing like the YouTube thing, but just a little while when we started this. Like I didn't really get serious about my YouTube channel until I think it was 2022 is when I started like getting into it a little bit, and it was like June of 2022 when I actually got it monetized and started like really laying into it. So being able to record a video and put it on the internet is one thing, but being able to actually get in front of people live to where if you mess up, say something stupid or whatever, you can't bring that back. I mean, once it's out, it's out. That takes a little bit more nerve, I guess you could say. So I think me and you both in the beginning were pretty nervous. I mean, going back and looking at some of the early lives, it didn't flow as well as it does today. So, and I think a lot of our guys like Brian and Chris and some of the ones that's been with us, as far as I know, since the beginning, have always brought a little humor and just crack jokes at us and stuff like that to try to help keep things moving. And like I said, I know we talk about some of the weirdest things, whether it be Southern cuisine, South Canada up there where you live or whatever. We're always talking about something, but it's been fun. It's the community, the part of it, I think, is probably my favorite part, is that there are people in this room that I've never met, I've never seen. Some of you I have, but that, like, I know your names. Like when I see your name pop up, I know your names. I know what you're into as far as CNC lasers, all that good stuff. And just like with Brian, Chris down under, people like that, Mark Patterson, ETLC, there's a bunch of guys in here that have been with us for a really long time. And part of what me and Steve want to do moving forward is to try to give back more to you guys. And so tonight we're starting that off with this laser giveaway, but we're also going to be having our Christmas shindig again this year, and we're going to try to make it a little bit bigger and better to give back to you guys, because if you guys didn't watch our videos, share our videos, buy our files, all that good stuff, there really wouldn't be much sense in us doing videos if nobody watched them. So I just want to say thanks to you guys, because we wouldn't have made it to this 100th episode if y'all weren't watching. Because me and Steve can sit in here and like face-to-face talk all night long. We don't have to do a live, but you guys are what makes it fun, makes it entertaining, and keep us coming back. So appreciate you. And tonight, here in just a little while, one of you lucky folks is going to get yourself a new 40 watt. For some reason, I was thinking it was a 20 watt. I almost said 20 watt. I'm a little short today, but a new 40 watt laser. And for those that aren't interested, Steve, if you want to give them the rundown for those that maybe just stumbled in here and don't know what we're going to be giving away, so they know why they need to hang out for a little while.
Sure. So yeah, we in talking with Atomstack about some things that were coming out, I had mentioned us coming up on our 100th live episode, and they graciously offered to give away one of their newer models. And so it's the A40 Pro V2, which is technically a 48/24 watt diode laser. Has your kind of typical, I think, 400 by 400 footprint as far as working area and such, but it has a lot of the updated features like you've seen in the A70 that both Clack and I have been working with. It's got the autofocus, it has linear rails, it has the cable chain and such. So a lot of nice features with that laser. And for a 48 watt laser, that's no slouch in what a lot of us are using. I mean, just today I was running the Lasermatic 30 watt again, and it's a little bit of a step down when you're cutting, but having that switchable from 48 to 24 still gives you some good quality on the engraving as well. So So yeah, we're going to be doing that giveaway here. We will be doing it about the midpoint of our stream. So we normally go from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time here. So in just under an hour here is when we will do the actual giveaway. You'll be able to enter via a keyword that will let you know in just a little bit. And from that, we will we'll let the tool randomly draw someone from those entries. You can basically enter once. So there's, no one has an advantage, disadvantage. You get to comment, and that's your entry.
Yes. And then also, if you would, we want everybody to have a chance to do it. So make sure you spell it properly, but just do it once, guys, because it doesn't matter if you do it 100 times. Your name's only going to get drawn once, because we don't want to just overwhelm the comments, because we do have people asking questions and stuff like that too. And 39 people in here now, it's going to be busy enough without spamming. So just one entry, just make sure you spell it right.
And so we are asking that you be present to win. So that's why we're going to be doing it midway. We're going to let people join in that may be coming late. But know that some people, especially here in the US with the time change, with daylight savings ending, and, everybody's off by an hour and whatnot, I'm sure we will, there's some people that are going to be fading out. So we'll give you a couple minutes to claim it in chat, and then I'll make sure that you get connected with me to get the information, and yeah, we will get that sent off to Atomstack, and they will be shipping it out to the winner. And so we really want to thank Atomstack. They stepped up and provided this for us. They also provided a discount coupon for anyone else that wants to use it. It's Bintari 10. Should get you 10% off any order at atomstack.com. So if you're looking at buying accessories or you want to buy the new Hurricane or anything like that, go ahead and use that. It should save you an additional 10% off. So we want to thank them for all their support for this night, as well as, what they've done for our channels over the past couple of years. So, whether you're a winner or not, send them some love, tell them thanks for supporting us, because that helps us do things like this and provide some information to you. So,
yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it all. I just want to say, wow.
Perimeter alert, driveway.
448 people in the live. That's a. What in the world? My watch is over here talking to me.
Alexa joining in.
Yeah. But 449 people fixing to be. Looks like it might be actually make it to 450. That is a new personal best for both of us. I don't think either one of us. I don't know that we get average more than 450 views on a video. So that's pretty impressive to get that many people in here. One thing too, I did want to say, and I saw this pop up a minute ago, and I had to kind of wipe my eyes. But Greg over at STL Woodworking, I don't know if I can find it. These comments are flowing. Dropped $100 bill on us, so we're gonna have to figure that out. But Greg, I appreciate it, and guys, like I said, I appreciate the support for what we're doing here. And Greg, Cody, I see Cody's throw us a $10 bill in the mix too. So appreciate the support, but we're gonna try to give a lot of stuff back to you guys, and so we'll spend your money wisely there, Greg. But yeah, it's awesome, and I would really love to go through these comments and read every one of them, and I will over the next few days. But dude, it's ridiculous. So if you have one that's popped out at you, Steve, by all means, go ahead and answer the questions, topics, or whatever, and we'll go. Oh, here's one. How big is the bed? Work area dimensions on that machine, like 400, basically somewhere around 400 by 400, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it may be. Let me bring it up to make sure I'm got it exactly right, but I think it is possibly 385 by 400, but I will check really quickly.
I'm pulling it up. I'll screencast it if I can find it. Let's see, Pro Series. Pro A40.
Yeah, it's
Pro
385 by 400, so it's 385 wide, 400 deep. But they do have an expandable kit for it to take it up to 850 millimeters deep. So,
and that's the A40 Pro V2.
Yes.
So it's not it is actually a little surprising, because it is not a small prize by no shake for the imagination. I mean, it's $1,000 machine, so it's a 48 watt. And if you look at that module right there, it's got to be the same module they put on the X40 Max, because it looks just like mine, marking, grid, everything. The way it's built with the extrusions on the sides like that, and then the gantry having the linear rail is the same way as the X40. It's just more. It's just not as wide. So yeah, it's just to be similarly operating to the X40 that I run all the time. It is switchable between 24 and 48. So definitely not a bad machine. And this one does have the autofocus already installed, right? Yes.
Yes, it's got the autofocus.
And that's the same autofocus they use on the A70.
Yes,
for the most part. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So you don't want to miss out on that. Stick around, and we'll go from there. So yes, somebody brought up we only got like 8 thumbs up, guys. Which I don't know if that's just Facebook or what, but please,
yeah, that's just on
Facebook. If you're in here, hit the like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. 485. We may hit 500. I'm not going to say it
Huh?
though. I know what y'all want me to say because y'all got me last time because I said I would dance if we hit more than
I was gonna say,
300 and we hit 300.
What kind of dance do we get on that?
I can't dance. I'm gonna claim injury on this one.
All right.
I mean, unless you want me to do like a bar stool dance.
No, I think we're all good with you not dancing. So
okay, all right. Well,
but yeah. So yeah, normally on these we do take questions from people, and we appreciate all the congratulations and such. So we will try to catch the questions as they fly through. But if we miss it, go ahead and repeat it. We'll try to catch it as well.
Yes, terminal. That is the plan. That is the announcement right there because Steve has forbidden me to speak of it in the lives because he feels left out. So, instead of speaking of it, I just point at the sign now so that we don't have to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
It's better.
Well, I the thing is, I get it here with you, and I also have some of my staff at college they've started their countdowns now. They're not quite that close, but they're close enough that it's weighing on me because that is those are some critical positions that are going to be difficult to replace. So
yeah.
So yeah, I'm just hearing about everybody getting to retire. So
Well, you should just be happy. Just be happy. See, there it is right there. Rick over Rick's 2 cents. Just happy Sunday. Just be happy. That's all you gotta have. What's up, Rick? How are you over there, sir? But yeah, just be happy about it. You should just like, I don't know, be thankful that I'm having this opportunity to retire and work in the shack full time for myself. Oh, it's gonna be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard the boss is a bit of a jerk though.
What are the questions related to that? What programs does that Atomstack use? So it's a GRBL based one. So you can use laser GRBL or you can use LightBurn with it. You'll just need the G code version of LightBurn, which is now, I forgot what they renamed them. It's now $100. They have a $100 version and a $200 version. So you'll need that, or you can use laser GRBL.
Doesn't it work with with Atomstack's new stuff?
I don't. They've been talking about now they have their mobile stuff. I don't know that their studio.
I was say this software is what the Hurricane works with. And if you go in here, it's got like
Okay.
See, I can connect my A70. Hang on, let me turn the A70 on. So I can I can connect the A70 to it as well. So hang on. Switch device. Well, do I have LightBurn on? Hang on, give me a second. Okay, there we go. It's seeing it now. All right, so like right now, I've got the A70 connected to it, and it is homing as it should. So yeah, I'm assuming you could use this software. It's not my favorite. It reminds me of XCS in the early days, but it is a functional software, and you can use a camera with it, whole 9 yards. And I have no idea which camera goes with this. I don't know which camera it's going to be on this setup because the way their software works, you just have to like find it. Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, this software is somewhat usable. Like I said, it'll do basic stuff, but I do not. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Oh, no, there we go. And so now I can. No, I'm not fixing to calibrate the machine. But yeah, there you go. So you see with this software, at least you can see the machine now. so you can move it, operate it around. But anyway,
Yeah, this is Atomstack Studio is fairly new, and so I'm sure they're, you know, going to have maybe some slight oddities, and hopefully over time they'll expand it out. I mean, you know, a couple of years ago when we were getting started with X Tool, they had I can't remember, what was it? Laser. So it was something.
Laser Box Basic.
Laser Box Basic, and it was functional, but it was a little frustrating to use. Now XCS has come a long way, and while it doesn't replace everything that LightBurn does, you can do a lot more in those applications. So it'll be great to see what Atomstack does with that studio software. Curious what other machines it might connect to. If it's just, you know, using a GRBL board, wondering what ones it'd actually detect.
Yeah, like I said, I was surprised when I first saw that it picked up on my my A70. My camera looks like it's being choppy. Is it being choppy?
Yeah. You opened up that other one.
Yeah, let me swap cameras and see if it fixes it. Hello.
Dark Forest is asking, what is a good food grade sealer for engraved cutting boards? The easiest thing to do is just use some good old food grade mineral oil on cutting boards, and then you can recommend to the people, hey, re-oil it every so often. Otherwise, there are some kind of oil wax mixtures you can get from a few companies. I know I've used some from Total Boat. I know Atomic Finishes have one that they are food grade, but it's a combination of oil and wax, so it has a little more durability to it. But those are the two that I've used on them. You're never going to really seal that engraving in really well. You don't want to like go over it with epoxy or anything, because that can chip if they cut into it and such. So generally the recommendation is try to have a display side and then a working side. So, you know, put the nice decorative side that they hang up on the non-cutting side and have them actually work off of the other side. So, but yeah, mineral oil is kind of my go-to for cutting boards, whether they're engraved or not. So hopefully that helps out. And we'll let Clack try to fix his camera issue. Jordana's asking, do either of you have a fiber laser? My new one will arrive next week. And yeah, we've had chances to play around with a couple of fiber lasers. That one, that's the Monport 30 watt MOPA you've got there?
Yes, that is a Monport 30 watt MOPA. And it does a pretty good job. And then, of course, I have that guy. And then I have both of them. I have their smaller brothers. One of them's in my portable shack, and one of them's in my office at the PD because I use it to mark stuff at work.
So, but yeah, I've been playing around most recently with the X-Tool F1, which is a 20 watt fiber mixed with the 20 watt diode. Matter of fact, just dropped a video about using it to cut both brass and wood for some Christmas ornaments. So if you want to check out using the fiber to actually cut brass, you can definitely check that video out. And I may have, I've been talking with the company because I've been wanting to play with the MOPA lasers as well. Clack's had one; it's made me very jealous. So I may have one coming shortly. It's probably gonna be one of the little lower power ones.
Well, mine's only a 30, but it's these companies, they want to send it to you, but they want you to sign like a 6-page document and all this kind of stuff. And Monport was the only ones that they were like, they sent me the contract. I sent back to them. I'm like, I'm not signing this because there's some stuff I don't like about it. And so they said, well, what do you not like about it? Fix it. So I fixed it, sent it to them. And they said, okay, here it comes. And I'm like, what? Seriously? So I actually wound up editing their contract to where it was a neutral contract. Basically, it didn't forbid me or bind me in any way. And it left me with my creative authority as well as ownership of my videos. So that they must have wanted me to take it pretty bad.
Yeah. So
$4.98. Oh no.
Com marker's been another good one. I know we both have 20-watt, the B4 series. So they all have their kind of slight idiosyncrasies of them. The lower power ones, you kind of start out at 20 watts with most of the fiber source ones and go up from there. And the 20 watts are much more for marking. You can do some deep engraving with them, but it's a very slow process. So I've been meaning to do more of that, but it's one of those things where each job takes, sometimes 4 hours. And so I kind of I got to plan it to where I've got time to kind of at least somewhat passively be monitoring it, because, you don't want it to screw up while you're away. So
there you go. Brian's asking that since we're at 100 lives, does that mean Steve might be able to test an RV to drive down to Alabama and both of you guys can do the review? No, but I think we are going to have some a little different variety of the way we do things this year, because Steve came down last year, but we're both going to be going to WBC this year, so we'll see. We'll see how that works out.
Yep.
Yeah, like Lori said, guys, hit the like button, like, follow, subscribe, share. I want to see it. I want to see it say 500 people. It's at 494 now. That is unreal. Sweet. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all setting records for me. This is going to be the biggest live ever for me. Hey, Decline. Yeah, that's my Tumblr guy. I got you some more work too, Klein. So whenever they get back with me. No, Brian, 450 is not going to get me to dance again. I can't dance. I'm on like limited duty over here. I'm on like, what do they call that? Dang it. Light duty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, the soundboard is working. And not to be cocky or nothing, but Jordana McCarthy said that she is looking forward to winning the laser.
Well,
yeah. Well, I hate that we can't give everybody. Oh, there's 500. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. That's like, oh, that's huge. That is huge. This is a milestone. Let me somebody screenshot it, write it down. That's the first time ever. So for our 100th episode, we got 500 viewers. Now it's going back down, so I'll run them off. But hey, we made it. I saw it on the screen there.
So that's the combination of all the channels that we're streaming to right now. So
yes,
we've got it on both of our YouTube channels, both our Facebook pages, and then you're also dumping it out to Twitch and X, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So glad to see everybody from all the different venues there. So
yeah, we're 30 minutes into it. So if you got questions, ask questions, because here in a little while the chat is going to get blowed up with all of the hashtag whatevers. We're not telling you what the word is until it gets close to time.
Well, here's go ahead with that one. But
Elaine says, Clack, your videos on the S1 tipped the scales to me to buy one. Worked CNC all through high school and needed to get back into it. Yeah, Elaine, I like my S1. I've really started since I played around with the P3 from Asper and it had the IR module. I've really started thinking that I would not mind the S1 having that IR module. So, I may possibly reach out to my X-Tool guy and see if I can get one, because Klein came by here. As many of you know, when I get cool machines, a lot of times Klein will come by and offer his services to help me do something. And then while I'm not looking, he sneaks a machine out of here. Klein took the P3 to his house because he likes engraving mailboxes and car tags for people in the community. And so I was like, you know what? I think I might like the module for my S1, because it's not like some of them. It's an easy swap with the S1. So I'm going to possibly reach out. I've been thinking about it and see if I can't get the IR module for the S1, because it just seems like that would be a good addition to that machine, because I use it a lot for tumblers and stuff still. I don't do as much wood stuff on it unless I backed up and I really need an extra machine. But tumblers and stuff, I run them all over it. And I've got my Ultra set up right now. I was playing around today, but I can't get the results I want, but I've been playing around with these. Like $4. I was like, $3.97 at Walmart. I'm like, I'm gonna try. So I'm doing a pretty good job with them, but man, these things are low quality. Like the necks are like misshapen, and it messes with my OCD. But I'm still playing with them. They're fun.
Yeah, I was at Michael's.
Now I'm doing wraps on the rotary. I'm not just doing straight up engraving. I'm wrapping.
I was at Michael's yesterday, but they seem to have been out of the red color. They had some very light translucent ones. I mean, they were more pink than red. So apparently people are buying those up, and so I'll have to look around. A lot of places actually have the plastic ones, so they don't shatter, which obviously are not something we want to throw in there. But
so far I haven't
that as well.
Yeah, I haven't shattered one with the laser, but I have shattered one with the chuck because I'm using the little fingers and putting it inside it and expanding it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't crank down too hard on that. It'll break. Aroha Artisan says they have it in Pro and Max. The Max is the extended version. Yes. The one over here on this side of my Closurzilla is the Max version of the X40. And then this one over here is the Pro version of the A70. The A70 Max was like 850 by 850, and I did not have the room to dedicate to it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the comment you had a while ago you just want to show?
That was one that you might be able to show, the getting the laser art library, things like that to dock. So apparently they've come undocked them.
Well, the easiest. Hey, let me get my LightBurn back up. I had killed it a while ago, and I was trying to figure out what was making me lag. Which find out it was that other camera did not go to sleep when I turned off of it, and it was just too many cameras. All right, so let me get this pulled up and present, share screen. All right, here we go. All right, so if the problem is that they've came undocked, it's as simple as go up here to window and then go down to reset to default layout right there. And that will reset them to where they need to be. So if you're missing certain windows, of course, you can go down through here and check and uncheck the ones that are missing, the ones that you need. Like I took my art library the other day and turned it off because I was doing side by side with two screens and it was taking up too much space. So if you just click that button, it will repopulate your library for you. As far as like these, if you pull one of these and get it, I've never really had like, I've seen like some of my buddies, they'll get theirs messed up, but you can undock these and like get them over here. And that's frustrating. Like if you get this one where it's like stuck over here and now you got this guy right here. And let's say it comes, it comes loose. And the next thing you know, it's like right there. And so your window's all janked up. Just go up here to window and hit reset to default. And that's going to put everything back like it come out the box. And then you're gonna have to go to window and like add your art library back. Let's say camera control. I like to have that. I don't need file list. Shape properties. Sometimes that's not a daily use thing, but occasionally I'll need that. And so once you re-add what you needed up here, you're good to go. You're back to normal. So that would be my recommendation.
Cool.
Just hit that repair button, basically. 522, 527. It keeps getting bigger.
Just keeps bouncing around.
Where's Chris at?
Let's see here. What else we got? Cubing cracked. What would you advise for a college student who's got a 100-watt CO2 and an F1 Ultra?
What do you mean?
I would, as far as, are you looking for what to do with them or what to add to them? I mean, you can do a lot with both of those because you've got the 20-watt diode with the F1, you've got the 20-watt fiber with the F1 Ultra, or the Ultra, and then the 100-watt CO2 could be a cutting workhorse.
Yeah, and that's probably at least a 28-inch workspace on a 100-watt CO2, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, as far as getting started with anything, I mean, find a few files, play around with them, try to customize them a bit, and if you're looking to build a business, start offering them local. Put some things on your Facebook page or whatever social media you've got with people around you, and usually friends and family will ask for a few, and just try to get the word out there and such. That's probably the toughest part on this is getting started with anything, and you don't want to chase what everybody else is doing unless you're like the only one, like you can do it just locally, but don't go online thinking you're going to, break into Etsy with files that you downloaded everywhere. But if you've got more local places you can work with, that's a great way to start, is grab some files. I mean, Clack's got some, I've got some. There are other sites where you can get some files very inexpensively and roll with it. Usually a lot of our best inspiration, you probably say this is true too, is from your customers. Once they know you've got the tools and some things, they've seen a few things you could do, all of a sudden they start bringing you, hey, could you do this, that, or the other thing?
Oh, yeah. I got one. Was it Friday night? We had an event downtown. Oh, no, Thursday. Thursday night, we had an event downtown, and I had somebody ask me, hey, can you make this thing to hold championship rings for kids that play Little League sports? And I'm like, well, sure, I can make most anything. Just send me a picture of what you want. And so they found it, sent me a picture. It's like, could you make this? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And not only could I make it, but once I get through making it, I'll put it on Etsy and sell the file, because it's a relatively easy project. And it's also something that people could do with like the 3030 Genmitsus that me and you have had, the Sane Smart, the 3018s. I mean, you could do it with a really small CNC because it's literally a piece of wood the size of a coaster. So yeah, I'm going to be working on that probably this week, and hopefully do a design video with it as well as a cut video for it. But get out there and find something that you can get into. I will say, if you're in college, hopefully your schedule is pretty flexible, because sometimes you have morning and afternoon classes, whatever. But try to partner with other businesses. That's been the biggest help that with me starting out doing just woodworking and laser engraving and stuff, aside from the online stuff. Other businesses were the biggest help that I got, because they would order things from me. And to keep them from going online or something like that, there were times that I cut my profit like onion skin thin, because I wanted to get the word of mouth out there. Because when you're first starting out, you're not going to be able to pull premium prices if you're like a nobody. If nobody knows you, if you have no references, you're not going to pull the premium profits. Once you get established and you've been kind of getting by and doing what you could, once you get established, then that's when you'll start being able to make a little bit more of a leap, and you'll get to the point to where it's like, oh man, I ain't got time to do that. So you'll price a job to where you're thinking they're going to walk, and they're like, okay, when can you have it done? And so when you get to that point to where you're trying to outprice jobs, it's a lot better. And because I got to that point, but now I'm at the point to where I've got Klein and Scarborough and some other folks outside my area that I send people to, because it's just more than I can do. Like y'all, I worked on these cutting boards and those today, and still trying to do videos and stuff. So it's an experience, but work with small businesses. Small businesses like to see other small businesses succeed. So it's a good boost to your business, in my opinion. Oh, Greg said he's 345 days, Steve. So he's a little behind me.
He says he's into retirement. He's ahead of you.
Oh, man, it's terrible. It's nothing like being in second place. Well, thank you there, Brad. We appreciate it.
Yvonne's saying, I researched machines for months before I bought one. Does brand really make that much of a difference? Just curious, since this is my first experience with one.
It depends.
When we're talking about the open frame diodes, they all kind of have a very similar core function. So as long as you're comparing apples to apples, the same, the same wattage, they're going to be close. But as we've found, some have slightly different, lenses and different cooling fans, different acceleration and steppers that can make a difference in small ways that add up. What probably really matters the most is are they reputable enough to be able to deliver the product and support the product and not just disappear. So that's where the brand can make a difference. And those are kind of the hard things to vet, because until you've had a machine for a while and maybe you've run into some problems, it's by word of mouth. And if you go online and search for problems with insert brand here, the bigger the brand, the more problems you're going to see, just because they have a larger customer base. So it's kind of hard to gauge off of that, but it makes a little bit of a difference, but it's not necessarily the end all of the world.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The parts, a lot of the parts are the same parts. They're put together basically the same way, sometimes even in the same factory. The biggest thing is going to be, are you going to need them to help you work on it if it breaks? That's, to me, I think that's the biggest thing that I hear complaints about, is not so much the build quality of stuff, is it messed up and I can't get them to help me fix it. That's where you got to be careful. So not a lot says, I have the P2 when I auto measure or point and click measure. Does that determine my focus? Yes, it should. Now, the way that works, is it 100% going to be correct every single time? Maybe not. I've had really good luck with mine on the P2 working when it's supposed to. Input on that, Steve?
Yeah, it's fairly accurate. They have a kind of calibration thing, and it's a couple blocks that you 3D print and then you paint, and it'll kind of check the measurements, which helps if you're finding it be off. But it's usually pretty close. But I've had a couple times where I don't know if it's the lighting or the shadows, it throws it off, and so sometimes I've gone in and tweaked it. But yeah, especially if you use the aimed measure, that should get you pretty accurate with the focus. And it makes a big difference, so if you take your screen capture before you focus and you start laying out your items and then you hit focus, you might notice that the image shifts a little bit, and that's it trying to make up for the height difference on the from, like, if it's a 6 millimeter thick item, it's going to shift that image a little bit because it knows that that's the calibration it needs for it.
Well, my camera ain't wanting to work. Somebody was asking if that machine had chains, but yes, its cable management is good. It's got drag chains.
Yeah, the one
it's just like the A70.
Yep, it's
we have a picture of it. Hang on.
So it should just drop the link out there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Let's go ahead and throw that out there. So that'll have all the information on it. But yeah, it has cable chain on both axes, and it handles that pretty well.
All right,
not too loose. The only one that I think the air assist isn't run through there, so that would be the one that is kind of loose.
It goes, if it's like mine, the air assist line goes into the chain over on the left wall. Like it comes out about halfway of the machine. Mm-hmm. If it's the same as this one.
I don't know, just going by their product demo photos, they don't have it in there, but
yeah, a lot of times how that thing like disappears, like the hoses and cables are run weird.
Yeah.
The side of radio says, aside from cutting power, what's the perks of a 48 watt versus a 10 or 20 watt? Used to, I said 20 watt was kind of the sweet spot, but I have moved over to the 40 range, because with the 40 watt machines, you do have that option of flipping the switch and turning it into a 24. If you're doing, say, like a Norton white tile or something like that, to where you want precision, but you don't need a lot of power, you can flip that switch, run 24 watts, and get that job done. Now, typically with wood and stuff like that, other mediums where, you're not going to get that kind of clarity, that kind of resolution out of wood, just because the size of the cellular structure of wood doesn't afford you, ungodly resolution. There is a limit to it. I have found that with my Atomstack A40, I can run it at 40 watts and get the same. I mean, like, you can't really tell a difference between the 20 watt and 40 watt engrave, but I can do it a lot faster because the 40 watts, of course, generates more heat. The more heat you have, the faster you can travel, and it makes everything run smoother. So me personally, I think the 48 watts are where it's at right now, because you do still have a 24 watt machine. Technically, you just flip the switch. So whereas used to, everybody would say the 20 watts the sweet spot. Now I think the 40 watt is, because with the flip of a switch, you can go from, a heavy cutting machine to a machine with a smaller dot size just by flipping the switch on the side of the module. So that's just my take on it. What's your opinion on that there, Steve?
Yeah, I would say, we've moved on. Kind of the median is in that 30 to 40 watt range. And, the argument would be that you get a slightly larger dot size. I think unless you're going down to like a single diode, 2.5 to 5 watt laser, and, doing things on like tile or something non-porous or non-fibrous, that's where it matters. And that's where you really see the detail come through. There, you will see a little bit in, from a 10 to a 20 to 30 or 40, but most of us aren't doing those. If you're doing those high detailed photo engravings, that's where you want to kind of stick with the lower wattage. Outside of that, you're doing vector engraves, you're doing cutting. Yeah, more power is the perks is it's faster.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Thomas is asking, how hard is it to set up a camera in LightBurn? Thomas, I know me and Steve both, I think, have camera calibration videos that you can follow along with. Regardless of the machine, the process is basically the same. The only slight difference may be sometimes you may have one type of camera or the other. But me personally, regardless of whether it's a fisheye or a flat lens camera, I run full calibration. I do not use any of the presets or anything like that. I just run full calibration to be done with it. In some instances, I have known that the lighting of some of these enclosed machines can potentially cause a problem, and you have to, turn off lights or turn down lights or put tape over them to dull them a little bit. But for the most part, if you can get the lighting correct, they're pretty easy. So it's not difficult. What say you, Steve?
Cameras in LightBurn. I mean, the process isn't difficult, but there are some variables that, it depends on what you can do. Certain, so you're calibrating the camera to a certain plane, and if you get material that's too high, so even like a 1/4 inch, it's going to be off just a little bit. And then the bigger the work area and the further away from center, you're just going to have some camera lens aberrations that are going to take it off a little bit. So it really depends on your expectations, for one thing. But like you mentioned, there are some variables in there that, too much light or not enough light can cause some issues. But yeah, it's go through the calibration, use the dot card deal. I don't use any of the preset lenses. I just go through both the lens calibration and the what's the other step? There's the lens calibration and then the grid calibration. It's going to get it close, but you're still going to find that you might be 1.5 millimeters off. And so if you're trying to get really, really tight, accurate stuff, that's where you might find some disappointment. But the other thing is with like Clack's setup with Enclosure Zilla, where he's got the bed that drops, where he can leave that focus plane kind of at the same level. Once his camera's calibrated, he just drops his focus point down there, it's still going to be in alignment. Whereas if you move your head up and you've got a thicker item, that's where some things throw off. So some of it is just managing expectations on it. So
There it is. That's moving your stuff 12 inches down.
there you go.
But yeah, it's I like my cameras, but they're never 100% trust them. I don't care what machine it is. It's never going to be 100%. Frame, and frame some more.
Yep.
Especially if it's expensive. If it's expensive, frame a lot.
Yep.
So,
I want to bring this one up. We got our friends from Atomstack in here, and just want to tell them thank you. We're getting ready here in just a few minutes. We're gonna release the details. We'll do this giveaway, but everyone, if you could just tell Atomstack thanks. They've been great partners for both our channels, and we really appreciate them stepping in and offering up this laser for our 100th episode here. So great to see them here tonight as well, and just send them some thanks, and we will. One of you for sure will be sending them lots of thanks here in just a few minutes. So.
Yeah, there you go, right there at the OX40. In case you missed it, there, Atomstack.
Nope.
I've gotten some miles on that guy. That machine. I make stove covers, and that machine is the only one that I can fit these into, and I make, I don't know, 4 or 5 a month and have for the past 2 years. And ever since I've had the X40, that's the machine that has done those. So that thing has been a workhorse. I wish the 70 came in this configuration with its wide but not deep.
Yep.
Yes, I wish the 70 watt, Atomstack, if you're listening. I wish the 70 watt came in this configuration as the X40. Maybe we could come up with like a A70 Pro, A70 Extended, and an A70 Max. Just change out, harnesses and rails. Really?
Yeah.
You'd have to shorten the harness just a little bit.
But I agree. That would be awesome to have that that kind of wide format of the 40 in the 70 frame. So.
Rob is asking, can you change power during a run, like by layer? In LightBurn, you can change it, but you can do different layers at different powers, of course, but you can't change it once it sends it to the machine because of the way the data is sent to the machine, unless there's some trick that the wizard, because of a hat over there, Steve knows about.
If you're referring to switching from the 48 to 24, that's done with a hardware switch on this one. I would imagine, if they could, it obviously would add cost and complexity, and then it's something else could break, but you could probably get an electronic switch to make that change. But generally, no, you'll run it in 24 watt mode, and then stop the job, hit the switch, and then fire up the other job. So.
I can't say the name. Sorry. Says that they all claim they are best. So I had to go with what my pocketbook allowed. I like mine, but just wonder which one I should eyeball for next one. There's like I said, there's a lot of different machines out there, and I don't have a lot bad stuff to say about most of the machines that I've tried. They're all for what they cost. They're all kind of what you would expect. But now some do have extras and things that go above and beyond. So my favorite brands are, of course, Atomstack has won me over. I got 3 Atomstack machines lined up right here. So obviously I like them. X-Tool, I got 3 X-Tool machines here in the shop. So obviously I like them. But also I got Ashmer, I got Rolly, I got Monport, I got Algo, Longer, and we ain't gonna talk about the Acer because they done went belly up on me. But I've got other machines, but the ones that I prefer to run on a regular basis are the Atomstacks and the X tools right now. Now, that's not saying next week somebody's not going to come out with something that I like better. But right now, for what I do, those are the machines that I choose to run. It's not that there's anything wrong with the other machines. It's just personal preference. My goodness, at the comments. There's no way I'm going to keep up with this.
Yeah. All right. Well,
what
we
is
are
this?
getting
Valley
off the close.
Forge done dropped a. Well, thank you there, Eric. If I can find your comment, I can't pin it because I can't find it.
Well, while you're searching for that, we are getting awfully close to midway point, and we promised that's when we were going to do this. So we're going to let you all know what you can do to get entered in. And so this can work from any channel, anywhere you're listening. It should grab this. You just need to go into chat and type in #Atomstack.
Whoop.
And
#Atomstack.
Yep. Let me get this up on. There we go. #Atomstack. That will get you entered into the drawing. It's basically one. You don't have to. You just enter it once. One is good. You just got to make sure you spell it right. So go ahead and put that in there, and we're going to draw for this. We'll give people a few minutes to get entered. I'll watch the entries and see how we're doing. Again, you got to be present to win. So that's kind of why we held off on this. Now there are. Just got to get back to their page on this. Right now, this machine is available in the US, in the EU. So that's the shipping zones that they have for them. So unfortunately, I don't think they can ship to other areas than Europe and the US right now. So we'll need to have an address in one of those two regions for you to claim it. And once we do the drawing, we will want you to speak up in chat, make sure you're here, and then we'll gather your information and whatnot. So go ahead.
It's not case sensitive, is it?
I mean, we got 384 right now. So I think, if you're not sure, I do have a capital A on there.
Yes.
But go ahead and go.
We don't know for sure if it's case sensitive or not. I just didn't want nobody to get caught off guard by that. I see a lot of folks aren't, and then some folks are just all caps in it. So I don't know if that matters, but just there you go.
Well, it's looking pretty good. I mean, we're up to 400 and we're up to 420.
Okay, so it must not be because yeah. So it must not be.
We'll let you all get entered in here once this kind of slows down in the next. We'll do it within 5 minutes, so no later than 8:05 my time. We'll do this drawing. Otherwise, if I see them kind of slow down, we'll do that. But yeah, this is again, it's for that A40 Pro V2, and matter of fact, I could probably bring this up. There we go. So it's it's this machine from Atomstack, A40 Pro V2. Like I said, they've got it in the European Union and the US. So those are the areas they're able to send these machines to. It's got the cable chain people were asking about. It's got the autofocus. It's got the dual head, the 48-24 head. Real nice dual cylinder air pump that both you and I, that's kind of like our favorite one if we're not using shop air.
Yes, if you're not using a like a shop compressor or whatever, that's a really nice one there. It's not all that loud, and it provides plenty of air for good clean cuts and stuff.
And one of the, this is a funny feature that both you and I appreciate, but this magnetic cover, you can remove it. That's not true on all of them. So it does screw on and off. So that's really nice when you're using like a rotary. You can get it lined up easier.
They upgraded that from the 70 because my 70, you have to take the screws out of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. But
even my 40 watt has to have screws taken out of it. So yeah, that's a recent upgrade. I like that. I can't stand when they lock it on there where you can't take it off. You've seen what I do when they put them on there where you can't get them off. I take a saw to it. But yeah, the magnets is a good option because one, if you want to leave it on there, you can, and it's not that big of a headache when it comes time to clean it. And secondly, you have the option that some materials you may want to run it because they're flat, and then sometimes you may want to take it off just to prevent any accidents or whatever. So yeah, Atomstack, I will say Atomstack has been evolving since the first Atomstack. One of the very first Atomstacks lasers that I got here at the shack was an Atomstack P9 M40, which was like a little 3-legged machine. And it was a 5-watt, and it was brutal, but it did a good job because it was real small. And, with the 3-legged machines, you didn't have the stability you have with like the square frame machines now. Oh yeah, that's a good bit of numbers. 600. We've hit 600, dude. Hey, if you hadn't, guys, please subscribe, link, follow, like, share, all that good stuff. That is 600. That's a new personal best.
Yeah, that's we really appreciate that. And like I said, we're normally we're just here answering questions with people, sharing some things. This is kind of a special weekend, but we want to be able to do more of this moving forward. So.
Clancy remembers that machine. That was my trainer machine for the longest. I made people use it and get good at it before I give them something bigger.
All right, so we've got about 2.5, 3 minutes left. We're up to 489 entries, so it seems like everybody is getting entered in there. But definitely type that in #Atomstack. Just make sure you got it spelled there, just like you see on the screen. And we'll be drawing in just a couple minutes. So good luck to everyone on that.
Yes, good luck. I think it's going to be a great machine, and I don't know if Atomstack is still in here or not, but if you are, appreciate you. And somebody was asking earlier about the Hurricane compared to the P2S. I'll put it to you this way. I'm not throwing rocks at anybody's machine. I liked my P2, but my P2 is under my CNC on a little roll around cart right now, out of the way, because I keep gravitating to the Hurricane because of LightBurn, because of the complete LightBurn compatibility. I keep going to the Hurricane, not the P2. So even with all of its bells and whistles, I like my S1 better than I do my P2. I'm just gonna throw that out there. For some reason, I don't make me explain it. I don't get it, but it is true. So, but yeah, so, but it's somebody put Clackstack in there. Hey, maybe we can get an Atomstack to create like a Sunday Night Live edition. We would dress it up like an English top hat wearing guy. We would go with black and white. But yeah, it's been fun. Like I said, they are one of the few companies that I can honestly say that have I think they've got every. See, I've had the P9 M40. I've had the A30 Pro. I think I've had more Atomstack machines than I have any other manufacturer. Maybe X-Tool is right there with Atomstack because X-Tool sends me a lot too. But
yeah, I did a quick video just reminding people about this, and I flashed up a lot of the thumbnails from all the Atomstack videos, and I didn't even include all of them. It was mostly just the machines, and I was a little surprised going back at the variety. Like you say, I started out back with that little, was it a 5-watt, that P9 little cantilever machine and such. So
yeah.
So yeah, it definitely, they've been around for a while, and they continue to innovate. They continue to branch out. Not too far. I mean, they've come out now with their CO2, and be interesting to see if they, dive into the fiber world as well. But
yeah, I think they had one, but I don't know that it was. I think it was just or was that just a blue? I think they had something that looked a lot like a Galvo, but was it the M4? I think it was called. Somebody's asking, Deborah's asking, I thought Xtool was going to make it compatible with LightBurn. The word compatible, some of these companies use loosely because, yes, it is compatible, meaning you can operate it with LightBurn. But a lot of times, especially with the Xtool machines, and I like my Xtool machines, don't get me wrong, but if you don't run it with their software, you lose features. And why pay for a bunch of features if you're going to lose them by using LightBurn? So, and like I said, Atomstack has their own software, but it's not a requirement to use all the features. Not at this point. I mean, they may change something down the road, but right now, it works perfect in LightBurn.
All right. Well, we've rolled over our time. The entries have
Here we go.
Slowed down. We've got the last few coming in. So here's the deal. We want everybody to be able to respond to this. So sometimes there is a little bit of lag. We're going to give it a couple minutes for people to chime in if they want. You may want to just quick refresh your browser, make sure that you're at the latest point of this. And we're going to do the drawing in about 30 seconds. So once it draws and flashes a name up there, we're going to give you a couple minutes, and we want you to chime up in chat. Just say, "Hey, I'm here," and then I'll have you email me, and we'll get things worked out. So I am going to.
Yes.
All right. Are we ready?
So you're gonna have to in the chat over here, guys. If you see it's your name in the chat, blow it up. Let us know it's you, so that we can confirm you're still here. Because if you're not, then we're gonna keep spinning the dice.
All right. And I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I'm going to hit the draw button in 3, 2, 1. Who's the lucky winner? Kayla Perry.
Kayla Perry. That's
right.
That name sounds familiar.
So, Kayla, if you can, let me throw this up there.
Oh,
she said she's
there.
Here.
It is. There it is. So there awesome. We are.
So Kayla, since you are on Facebook, if you can go to Facebook, jump over to my page, Vintari's Workshop, and send me a message on there, so that I can get connected with you. We'll gather your information for the shipping. And we'll get you connected, get that information off to Atomstack, and yeah, we'll get you your new laser. So congratulations, Kayla.
Cool. So that was awesome. It actually had my heart racing a little bit too. I was really watching. While I was sitting there watching, I was like, it was going through there, and I was like, who's gonna pop up? Who's gonna pop up?
I know, and it has that kind of pause before it does the last one, and it kind of teases people. But yeah.
Like, all right. So here's the deal, guys. Not everybody can win a laser every time we have a drawing, especially with now 620 people in the live. But we are setting our goals to try to give back more to the laser community, because me and Steve, we do this because it's fun and we enjoy it mostly. Now I'm fixing to retire, so I'm gonna have to be able to make a little bit of a living out of it. But we're gonna keep giving back to you guys. Christmas edition is gonna be something that you're not gonna want to miss at all, because it's gonna be really, really awesome. And we hope to make it the biggest live ever. But like 620 something's gonna be kind of hard to beat, Steve. I'm not sure we can. I'm not sure we can beat that. That's going to be tough. I don't know. Yeah. We may have to install like real shiny pole behind you or something to get past 600.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But yeah, we're going to be doing more giveaways come Christmas, and as we can. Some of them might be individual on our channels as we work out deals with some other companies or things we come across. But really appreciate Atomstack stepping up. And then again, they have provided the code Vintari10. So if you're placing an order with Atomstack and you want to save a little money, go ahead and use that code, and it should save you on most anything out on atomstack.com. And so that way, anybody who's looking there can save a little cash, and we want to thank them for that as well. So.
Okay, apparently that person's having trouble finding your page. So
right,
we're gonna hang on. I'm gonna just send her a link. She's messaged my page, so
okay.
I'm gonna pull you up, send her a link, and put her in communication with you.
Well, I also it may be going by fast, but I'm dropping it in chat for anybody, and if you want to follow me there, I appreciate that as always.
Yeah, yeah, she needs to go ahead and hit on over there and subscribe. Okay, hang on. There we go. All right. There you go. All right, I sent her to you. I'll let you deal with it, because Steve's side is where most of the communications with the Atomstack has been going on this go around. Like I said, we're gonna have partnerships with other companies. I've got another company that I'm working on some stuff with. And we'll see how that goes, as well as we're working on some different things for, we've got guys that do CNC, woodworking, 3D printing, all that kind of stuff that comes to the lives. And we want to not only support the laser folks, but those guys as well. So we're working on some really cool things that we're going to integrate into the Christmas edition, so that if let's say you have a CNC, then you can use this keyword to go for these prizes. And if you don't, if you have a laser or 3D printer, then you can go into the drawings that apply to something that you do or that you have. And hopefully that's going to help everybody, because, we started off calling this the, Sunday night laser engraver live or whatever, but it quickly became the laser engraver CNC live. Then it became the laser engraver CNC 3D printing live. And so, and then it was the laser CNC 3D printing chicken liver live. So we just wound up going with Sunday Night Live, because guys, we do a lot of different stuff in here. And also it's just fun stuff. So anytime folks can have fun with, their hobbies, it's a good day, in my opinion. And these comments, man, we're gonna have to step up our game on these comments. Yeesh.
Yeah, it's a lot tonight. But we're
Mark, that's all up to the different companies. Like I said, we'll check with them as they contact us. I am not one. I have never been, and me and Steve, neither one really do a whole lot of contacting the companies. But sometimes when they contact us and ask, for us to do stuff, then we may reply. Like I had a company the other day that wanted me to do a review on a machine, and I told them that if they would, if they would donate, because it was a really cheap machine, if they would donate 3 machines as a giveaway, then I would do the review. And they wanted to do it, but come up with this big elaborate agreement, and it was just the language in it I did not like. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep working at it, and these companies will realize that there is a benefit for them as far as marketing goes, especially if they have good product. And hopefully we'll get more stuff. Let's see. Scrolling. Chicken liver live. I hear you, Stacy. Steve doesn't like chicken livers.
Nope.
Yes, Dennis. We actually hit 620 combined at one point. I saw 620. So that is a new record. So what do they call that? A PB, personal best?
Personal record? Personal best, yeah. So yeah. All right. So I did I've got connected with Kayla, so we're going to get everything to Atomstack, and we look forward to hopefully hearing how that goes. So
Maybe so. Maybe so. Somebody's asking, where's the cat? The cats are probably up there sleeping. That behind that little curtain is where their bed's up there. I made them a bunk bed in the early days of the Clack Shack. I made the cats a bunk bed, and so they go up there and go to sleep. You'll see them every now and then climbing up.
In my latest video on making the ornaments, one of my cats made a little cameo appearance while I was going through some of the design stuff. Decided to hop up and say hi, but so I had to leave that in there.
Had enough. To be honest with you, I don't know exactly what the angle is. I'm a redneck engineer, not an actual engineer. With these springs, the way that I did it, and I'll have to just take a picture. Email me, and I'll send you some pictures, and maybe we can do some measurements or whatever, and I can tell you. But basically, what I did is I've got the springs pulling with the opening is flat, and the springs pull that way, so that the spring pulls the door shut, and when you open it, it actually holds it open as well. But I just literally took the spring, put it up there, got it to where I thought it needed to be, drilled a hole, and got lucky, and it worked. So that's seriously how most of my inventions come through. Callie's over there. I thought it was a raccoon at first. She got that striped tail. Preston, the stove covers. I've got a trailer sales place that sells mobile homes, and they sell a bunch of them. And so everybody that buys a mobile home from them gets one. And they also get, after like 6 months after they've bought it, they get like a little thank you, just checking in with you gift, which is one of these bamboo cutting boards here that they ship to them in like a padded envelope, and just basically say, hey, we're just checking in with you to make sure you didn't have any problems. So that is like the welcome home gift. And then this is like the 6 month or 3 month follow up with how did we do type thing. But I've got a company that I do that for, and I do enough of them that it keeps me busy. Matter of fact, one of our viewers is actually doing the other 2 trailer places that are in my town here. He sent me a message and was like, hey, I was wanting to do what you do, but I live like right other side of you over here, and your place is the closest places to do that. He's like, would you mind if I pitch it to him? And I'm like, no, go ahead. So he went in and talked to him, and I'm doing the one place and he does the other 2. And he's one of my followers. So it worked out good. Okay, apparently I got the lingo right. Johnny Baylor says a PR is a personal record. I thought so. I wasn't sure. I picked that up from watching what's his name? The Beast.
Check it out. Flag RC Raceway sounds like a fun place. I've dabbled in some RC racing before. Do either of you have any tips for painted canvas engravings? Biggest tip that I can give you is thicker paint layers and try to get consistent paint layers. If your paint layers are too thin, it's super easy to blast right through that color and either hit the canvas itself, or if you're doing 3 or 4 colors, it's easy to go right through them. So thicker paint tends to make it a little bit easier. No. But...
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one, Greg. Oh, you got my eyes watering on that one.
I'm about ready to switch hats because this one, I've got a big head. I don't know if you've noticed.
No kidding. I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah, no, it's this is a snug fit. I may be losing oxygen to my brain tonight.
Your hair's gonna start falling out from your scalp's like losing its ability to. Yeah, injured reserve's another one. But no, I was looking at like at work when somebody comes in or whatever, they have to be put on like light duty or whatever. Which it's hard to really have light duty in what I do, but luckily my job's kind of gotten to the point where it's a lot lighter than it used to be. Most days.
I think it's called a desk job, right?
Yes. Hey, I am proud of it because you know what? Look at that. It's hard to get sued or killed behind that desk. It could happen, but hopefully not as easy.
Hometown Crafts. Good evening, guys. Is there ever a time that you would not use air assist?
Not for me. Not really.
Unless
it was something that was moving. Like if it was something that was like moving because of the air, maybe that'd be about it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like to have at least minimal air on at all times. So there are times though that more air can be counterproductive. Acrylic on a CO2 actually will cut a little bit cleaner and have a little more polished look if you dial back the air a little bit. So that's one of the times. If you aren't able to, I like to run air even when I'm engraving, just to help keep that smoke away. I might dial it back. So it's really nice on some of the newer air assists where they're coming out with smart air assists, where it actually will have not only the on and off, but the levels, and usually that's through their own software as well. But dialing that back might be a time. But not running air assist at all, you run the danger of getting smoke and debris onto that lens, and then that can cause some issues. So as far as what do I consider minimal air, just enough to keep some air moving out of that cone. It doesn't need, just barely enough. You just want to keep positive pressure so that smoke and debris doesn't go back up in the cone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's one of the things that I like best about the X Tool S1 is the air assist. I've got it set to where it does like a 2 power for engraving, but like full power for cutting. And you can actually go into software and set that and change it, and you can turn it up and down, or you can go over to the machine and manually adjust it. So a lot of the machines have that, but that's, like I said, with the X Tool machine, that's extra, but you pay extra too. So, but most of mine are run on like this, my X40, my A70, and even the Hurricane has its own built-in air assist. So you don't have to have a pump for it. But for the A70 and the A40 or the X40, both of them are running on shop air. And so I can, if I need to, dial down the pressure or, could just turn it completely off if you want it. But I usually run it anyway. I guess it's Quay. Says this a formal event? Apparently it is. Boom. ET's got a question for you.
My CO2 Monport 40 watt cuts nice going from left to right top cut, but it has an offset cutting from right to left bottom. Can you tell me why that is? Well, if you know, you answer.
Sounds like to me the mirrors need alignment. And when you're moving throughout the work area, it's shifting. The beams actually being moved because of the mirror alignment. So you're going to need to adjust your mirrors.
Yeah, if you're getting, and sometimes you'll actually get a kind of a ghost cut. You might have a primary line and secondary. Usually that's because it might be bouncing off your air assist cone if you have one in there. Yeah, generally it's anything that it's strong in one corner, not in the other. It's going to be usually mechanics on one side. Now it could be that your bed is that out of whack. Like if it's way lower, it might be different. But if it's actually changing, if you're seeing a thicker beam and a thinner beam, or you're getting actually a ghosting, then it's probably the alignment of that last mirror.
You still got that, or do you need me to clip it?
Yeah, I've got it. I can get over to that page. Here we go. Here is the link to the laser that Atomstack gave away tonight. It's the A40 Pro V2. So go ahead and check that out. Although if you're gonna purchase it, do us a favor and use one of the links in our channels.
Oh, is that not a? Is that not one?
That's just a straight link. I'd have to dig up the actual other one, but yeah, use then go ahead and use the code Vintari10, and that will also should save you some money off your order as well.
Well, yeah, if you ain't gonna throw it in there, I'll throw mine in there, by Georgie. That'll let them know that you came from us anyway, so that they'll know you're getting directed, or you heard about them here.
Yeah, and if you're watching my channel, the link is right down in the description, so you can get.
Yeah, it should be in both of us. I think we both put it in there. That's where I think I just copied it from. The stuff that I've been using, Merrill, is from Rugby Building Supply, and it's a local shop. They only have so many places. As a matter of fact, this is an invoice where I picked some up the other day. But it's Rugby Architectural Building Products is the name of the company. But you can get it at a lot of different places. You may have to order it, or whatever. And there's some that comes from companies online. And I need to do a video on this stuff, but I haven't got around to it yet. But this is similar. I don't know exactly how pricey this stuff is, but this is the true flat pre-finished laser plywood. And so far, I can say I've had it in the shop for a while and it hadn't warped. So it doesn't warp, but it comes in different colors and stuff like that. I guess I need to this week do a video using this stuff so I can actually say for sure how well it does. So I'll put that on the queue. Maybe this week I can get, because I've been meaning to do it, but every time I start to do it, something comes up. So we'll see. But it did make it over here to the machines. So that's closer than it used to make it.
Cool.
Yes, Lee. Anytime you do fabric with a laser, especially if you set the LPI really high, all you're doing is just basically burning little tiny cuts all through it. And so it's gonna be basically like it's gonna basically be like it's ash. If you go too hot, you can engrave fabrics, but you got to go fast and cool. So start out really fast with not a lot of power and just work your way up.
How often do we clean or replace the lens in our machines? It's going to depend on what you're running. I've had some where I've had to clean it after one job. Going back to the painted canvases, those sometimes can get a lot of splatter on them, to the point where it almost clogs up the air assist cone. But I would say for myself, if I'm running like a solid day, almost nonstop, I try to, at the end of it, at least take the module off, check the cover lens, give it a wipe down, check the fan for any dust, do a kind of just a quick 5-minute spot check on that. So like 6-8 hours of running would definitely be that. But like I say, there's sometimes if you just get a real smoky material, or maybe your exhaust fan wasn't pulling stuff out quick. It's nice if you have the right machine, you can grab that module out of there real quick, give it a quick wipe down and get it done. Now there's some machines it's not as easy, because you got to unbolt it some funny way, or in worst case, in some of them like the We Create, you got to tip the machine on end to get at it. That's a little frustrating, but cleaning and maintenance is a big thing on all these. You'll quickly find that your machine stops working very efficiently or at all if you don't keep up with that.
Yeah, and like Steve said too, your exhaust, you would be surprised how much exhaust dictates how much crud gets on your laser. The better your exhaust, the less often you're going to have to clean.
Sorry, I was going to roll right into this one because Norbert was asking, do you still offer cover lenses? I do. I'm starting to run into some issues with getting the right material and such. So I do. I'll drop the link out there. I do that through Etsy. It's an 8-pack, and these work for most any of the lasers that use about a 13 to 14 millimeter glass lens on that brass end cap. Now, some of the newer ones are coming with a smaller, like it's about 11 to 12 millimeter. Still been trying to figure out a good way to offer those, but I do sell them in an 8-pack of just some clear glass lenses. Try to keep them as cheap as I can, but I'm starting to feel the pinch of the latest supply issues and costs. So I put the link out there in the chat. If they're in stock, I've got some. If not, you can message me. Sometimes I'm just waiting on some material, or I've got to assemble some kits. But yeah, I do try to offer those up, like I have for the past year and a half or so.
Lori, for the most part, no. I said it right there. Now, there are times that I do need one, and if I had a little different setup, I probably would. My buddy Billy, he's got a couple of the machines that I've had in the past, and he's built little small enclosures that have a window that can raise up and down, and has exhaust in the back to keep that fresh air pulled into them. I would recommend it if you're going to be running it a lot, especially if you're going to be doing stuff that, like some of these coins and stuff that you have to let run for hours. I would do it. Most of the stuff that I do on mine, by the time I closed the door on an enclosure, the engrave would be done, because most of my stuff is literally like zip, zip, and it's done. So I guess it would depend on your use case. But if I'm doing anything that does last a long time, as you saw a cat climbing up through there a while ago, I do have to keep the cats locked out or whatever, just as a precaution. So it's not a bad idea. I'm looking to get my hands on one that I can put it in. I know there's some companies that make like an acrylic one that you can just set it in like a box and run it inside that box. And I'm looking at trying to source me one of those. That way it would be low impact. I could, leave the door open if I wanted to, when I'm doing real quick batching, or I could close the door for longer jobs.
Yeah, I don't have an enclosure for mine other than the ones that kind of have their, their built-in ones. I would love to get one that fits these, and I may have to just build something myself to at least provide 3 sides of it.
Yeah.
But it's not only just the light stuff; it's being able to control the particulate. So, we put usually it's like a 3D printed shroud kind of thing to help direct that air right off of the plate that you're working with. But being able to just keep that contained to really more ensure that nothing is kind of falling forward and such would be really nice. So that might be a project for this winter, is build some sort of fiber enclosure for kind of the typical fiber laser.
Oh, I've came really close to just taking the CNC and making me a 3-sided box with a top on it, and just adding an exhaust port to the back of it, maybe a few CNC'd holes in the top to allow air to come down through it and out the back. But the problem that I'm having is, where am I going to get the glass for the 1064? I've looked and I can't find anybody that sells it in like you can for the 450s. I guess I could probably get JTech to source me some, but there's no telling what the price would be on that. So that's just kind of where I'm at right now, which I guess, maybe I could get a hold to a machine that had a cover that was rated for 1064 and maybe sacrifice it, but that's not a good solution.
Yeah.
So, Scott, the way antifreeze works typically, depending on what antifreeze you get, like if you get the RV antifreeze, the way it typically works is you'll look on the back of the jug or in the literature that comes with it. It's going to have a chart basically that is going to tell you for this climate, add this many ounces to this many ounces of water. It's basically going to give you the mix ratio for whatever area. And where I'm at, if I antifreeze mine to negative 15 degrees, unless there's really something bad happens, I don't have to worry about anything freezing. Whereas where Steve's at, Steve's going to have to go a lot lower with that temperature protection. So therefore, he's going to have to add more antifreeze. So you want to add as little as is necessary, but you want to make sure you've got enough in there to prevent it from freezing, because you don't want it to, like, if you're in Miami, then obviously you're not going to need as much. You may not even need antifreeze, but it's going to depend on your climate and what your minimum temperature expected is. So what's it say on yours, Steve?
I was just trying to look at that. So this is the stuff that we're talking about. This is RV and marine antifreeze. It's usually pink like this. Straight, it's talking about -50. Right on the label, it says do not add water. So I don't know that they want you to thin this down. What I have done in the past is I've mixed this 50-50 with distilled water. And I've run that in my my chiller. Now, I've never tested it because the coldest it's gotten in my shop when I had the laser out here was maybe mid to high 30s on the, the days when it is 30 below out.
Yeah.
But if it gets that cold, I would probably look at draining the tube. So I don't worry about diluting it too much. But yeah, 50-50 is what I've done, and ran that without any problems. Kept it in there probably a little bit longer than I should have, because I think it went a good 9 months. Usually I try to about every 6 months swap out the water, just make sure there's nothing growing in there or getting bad. So
yeah. My minimum speed with full air assist on a honeycomb is around 5 millimeters per second. I will not go any slower than that under normal circumstances. Now, if you see me playing around with the 70 watt, trying to cut through a piece of 2x4 or something, we may do it then, but I'm going to be on fire watch with, my Windex bottle in hand. If I'm actually putting it into a job that I'm going to run, typically 6 millimeters per second is my cutoff. If it doesn't cut it at 6, I just start adding passes. That's my rule. What do you say there, Steve?
Well, I'll go a little bit slower than that. Usually about, I think the slowest I like to go is 150 millimeters a minute, which that would be, what, about 2.5, 3 in your scale?
2.5.
Yeah. So, yeah, but that is rare, and that's usually for just something small, quick, that I can sit. If it's going to take 15 minutes, I am not going to run it that slow. I will. I'll increase the speed and passes just because you do increase the risk of getting that flame and flare up, and then you're increasing the risk of starting a fire. So, I would say I'm probably closer to your range now. I try to get at least 250 on a bev, but I have run it down to about, I would say, about 150.
Yeah, and the material too. Some materials can handle the slower speeds better than others. Stuff like especially pine. Pine is sappy. It has sap in it. When it gets hot, the sap starts flowing out of it. Sap is flammable. So you can actually set pine on fire and not know it, because it'll just be glowing red in the inside of the cut, and you'll look over there and there'll be this big black spot that is encompassed like half your piece of wood. And it's not a fire like by the sense of having a flame, but it is just as destructive. And it, like, if it gets enough air, it can become an inferno. So yeah, you have to be careful. But like I said, 5 to 6 is that's about where I feel comfortable. I'll play around slower than that, but it'll be just in some testing or something. Oh my gosh, they're trying to talk Brandy into dressing me up like an elf, and she's biting. She is biting. What are you doing? What are you doing, Fluff? Everybody's talking about they seen a cat. They seen a cat. They seen a cat. Can't pick the rolling. Yeah. Well,
Brandy,
they picked the
if you
rolling
help
because it's
shopping
on its
for
way
that,
up.
just let me know. I'll happily make sure we can send him some elf gear.
I'll dress up like a gnome. She don't like gnomes. Do you know what size lens the A70 Pro takes?
The color lens on that one is smaller. It's so like
it's a little smaller,
yeah. Most of the newer styles, the A24, the X40, the A70, and I believe this V2. That it's a smaller cover lens that's around. I'd have to go back and measure them, but I think it is around 11.5 millimeter, give or take, somewhere around there. So, I've been playing around trying to find some options for that, and I keep meaning to send you some. I got to remember that. But yeah, it's a little smaller. So the stock ones that I've been selling don't work in it, but I'm trying to make sure we can find a source where we can keep those lasers running.
David's asking if your lens kits fits the Elegoo Ficta, and I'm pretty sure it does. I think we tested that when I had mine here. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was the same as like the Atomstacks.
Yeah, the Elegoo 20 watt is that same size. So
yeah, Aroha is soliciting for us. Said if Atomstack's here, please send one of us a new fiber 20 watt to me or you. Yeah, like I said, I think we have a good enough relationship with Atomstack that we probably would get most stuff. I know you're still. I know there's still conversation about the Hurricane on your side, but I think you're going to get the better end of the deal because mine was like the prototype, so I have like 3D printed parts and everything. So, and I know they had talked about they might send you one, and you would actually be getting one of the legit like commercially available ones. Which I think I think I should get another one once they get all the bugs worked out of it. Because my prototype, I have offered them lots of suggestions, and I think it warrants getting a new one.
Yeah, when we were talking about stuff, and they had a few of kind of those pre-production ones, and you were on that list, but yeah, it does sound like I should be able to hopefully get one of the production ones once they get kind of caught up with that. So,
look at that. I want to know how your A70 Pro enclosure's going, Steve.
I have the plywood.
You've had that plywood for months now.
Yeah, I know. No, I need to get it built. I'm actually thinking about. Oddly enough, I'm a little limited on space right now, and I'm thinking about building one that's going to be big enough for the wider, that like the A40
X40
as well, X40 as well as the A70. And so, yeah, I hope to build one. The thing is, I wanted to do it in a way that I could record everything and do something of a instructional video on that, which just adds to the time and the prep. If I just sat down and did it and just stuck a camera in the corner, I'd probably get it done faster. But yeah.
What are you doing there, Fluff? All right, somebody's asking about my Windex bottle. It's an old Windex bottle. It doesn't have Windex in it. It's an old Windex bottle. It's actually got water in it. But that is my first line fire extinguisher. It's just a recycled Windex bottle with water. And if that is not adequate, you'll notice that right there, I have a fire extinguisher mounted there. And I've also got another one mounted on the front of my CNC. So if I'm on that side of the room working with those machines, I have one over there. And then I have this one, which is just like you just reach and grab it. Those are 3D printed little clamps that holds this up there. And this is my little fire suppression for it here. And then, like I said, I have another one over there on the front of the CNC, which is, it's a different brand, but this is the one that's over by the CNC. These are just like little aerosol fire extinguisher cans. These aren't the CO2. So yes, they could hurt electrical stuff, possibly. But if there's a fire big enough that I'm spraying this, I'm really not worried about whatever I'm spraying it at. I'm trying to save everything else. So.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the fire's gotten that big, there's a really good chance that that CNC or that laser is already done for. So at that point, focus is just put the fire out. And I also have a boat and RV, like one of the bigger ones, like you keep in the trunk of your car or whatever, up by the door. So if I go through my spray bottle, those two guys and the one by the door, at that point, I'm hoping the red truck's on its way. Because his done got bad.
I think I'm going to have to collaborate with Brandy here on a new product idea here.
Oh dear Lord! Oh, I know. Y'all remember Clack on a Stick, right? Y'all are just empowering him. Y'all are empowering him way too much.
We've got Clack on a hook.
Yeah.
You know, my this is my Bigfoot bear deterrent.
That's just wrong. Oh. Let's see what else we got going on here. All right, we're hour and 46 minutes into it. So if anybody's got any questions, I'm going to try to get to the bottom of the questions. The questions keep coming in. So if anybody's got any questions, go ahead and throw them out there. Should we tell them?
Scroll through here. Sorry if I've missed something, but we'll try to.
Should we tell them?
What's that? Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
All right, guys. Because we knew that the drawing would probably draw in some people that aren't our usual customers and aren't usually with us. And some of you guys may have found us because of the live, because of the drawing, and you're still here. And if that's the case, then congrats. You're very fortunate. But what we decided was for our folks like Brian and Chris and Jim and V and all the folks that are in here like week after week after week, and y'all sit here with us for 2 hours every week. We didn't want to get y'all left out. So guess what? We're going to do drawings here at the end. I was going to only do one, and if we can, we'll get their channel IDs dropped, if you don't mind, if you can help me with that while I'm setting up some other stuff. But Eric from over at Valley Forged, as well as STL Woodworking, Greg over at STL, have contributed to the cause. So they've donated some money to the cause, and we're going to donate it back to you guys. So instead of doing the $100 drawing that I was going to do for Amazon, we'll go ahead and do 2 of them. But y'all owe those guys a little bit of a thank you. So if you would go over to their channel, which is going to be STL Woodworking and Valley Forged, and those guys, go ahead, give them a like, a comment, tell them thanks, whatever. Because they gave the money to us, and we're going to pay it forward to you guys. Because, like I said, me and Steve do this for a side hustle temporarily. I will be retiring and needing the money eventually, but right now, we're here to have fun with you guys and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing 2 drawings because of the money they donated. Believe it or not, YouTube actually takes like half of it. So I'm doing 100. I'm going to do $100 of mine, as well as $100 and Steve's money, as well as $100 from the one that they gave, that Eric and Greg donated to you guys. So y'all be sure to tell them thanks about that. Go check out their channels. Eric does a lot with lasers. Greg's mostly into like, pouring CNCs and stuff like that, but he does some inlays and so forth. So he's got some cool content for the CNC guys in the room. So go check that out. But so we're gonna go. We'll do 2 drawings, and so that we don't have to just like keep putting stuff in there. Because it's our 100th anniversary, we're gonna do hashtag, and I'm gonna keep it simple so you ain't got to misspell nothing. Hashtag 100 is gonna be the phrase. So let me get that down here on the banner, and that way you know what to what to put. That's it right there. Just it's that simple. So hashtag 100, and that's going to get you we're actually going to do 2 drawings, but we're going to do $100 gift cards, I guess you could say it is, through Amazon. So those guys that are, I guess, Chris, do y'all have Amazon in the land down under? I'm assuming you do have access to Amazon, right? I'll try to watch for the comments. But yeah, the object here is, I think, this is just me being, thinking, but I think that doing it this way, even our friends in, Canada and Australia and places like that will be able to benefit from this, because if you get a $100 gift card for Amazon, as long as they deliver it to your house, you're good.
Yeah.
So
yeah, hopefully that's a little more universal for people, and that's is one way. And we know we've got people all over. As a matter of fact, if you are new here, down in the links of both of our video descriptions, we do have a map for our laser engraving community. We started that a little over a year ago. And if you want to put your pin on there, there's a form, Google form. You just fill that out. I do have to manually update those, but that does show all of the pins of people who've put them in there. And a lot of people might put their business name, and you don't have to put your actual name or your actual address, just maybe city, state, or city, country, wherever you're at. And it's kind of cool to see that. And we'll use it if we're traveling and want to try to do a meetup. So,
oh yeah. Oh, there will be some traveling in 332 days.
Yeah. So yeah, that's go ahead and add your pin to that map, and helps us kind of see where everybody's at. So speaking of, I am going to jump over to that tab and make sure it's updated.
Oh, Jack said he thinks Chris is already gone. Well, I hate it, but we didn't want to advertise this part of it, guys, because we knew there's going to be a lot of people going to jump in, and they're just going to stay long enough to try to win the laser and then leave. And I don't blame them. I would too, but we wanted to try to give something to you guys that are with us like weekend after weekend after weekend. And so we decided to keep that one under our hats, not tell anybody about it until the end of the video. And then Greg and Eric come in there dropping money. So it's like, okay, now it just got even easier, because we had decided we were going to do 1, but I'm like, okay, now we got enough that I can do 2 and not, have to skimp on the power bill or nothing.
Yeah, I got to keep that power on in the winter.
Yeah, no, I was looking for Chris from the land down under over there, Chris Gallagher. But anyway, I think most everybody should have it in there. Hashtag 100. If you hadn't already dropped your entry in there, and I'm going to get this pulled up. Or do you want to do it, Steve? I mean, either way, I guess have you already got yours pulled up?
No, if you created it, right?
Yeah, I'll do it. I will drop her in here. So we got hashtag or pound 100. Okay, I'm going to exclude winners when doing multiple draws, because we are going to do 2 pulls. So we got 79, 80. Okay, it's going to take it a minute. I know there's more people done that. All right, it's only showing 81 entries. So y'all make sure you got your hashtag 100 in there correct, because I know I've seen it pop up more than that. Why is it showing? Let me hit that refresh button. Sunday Night Live. Pound 100. Start collecting comments. Huh. All right. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's stopping at 80. And I know there's more than y'all did it. So we're going to give it a minute. But if you've, it's not going to draw you twice, but just make sure you get your numbers in there. So I'm going to give y'all just a minute. We'll talk about something.
If you've typed it once, go ahead and type it again. Just don't spam it too much. We want to make sure everybody gets entered in.
Yeah. But
while you're doing that, I will give a little sneak preview for the dedicated people. Doing a little playing around in the workshop this weekend, and I made the Halloween lanterns for my wife for some decorations at work, and wanted something that's going to be coming up for the holidays, and so this is something I've been playing around with.
Ooh,
so these are little fairy light LEDs, and they're just battery operated, and so this is just layered up. And so this is kind of the prototype. I'm doing a little tweaking on this, but hopefully going to have a video out on this shortly. And as a matter of fact, this might be a good thing if you're following Ryan Ballard in the Gatton Christmas Challenge. They're doing a giveaway where if you do a Christmas themed project and want to make a video of it, you can enter. Or if you just want to make some ornaments, and I think they'll just take photo submissions for that. You can enter as well. And I just did a video on making some ornaments, so you should check that out as well. But yeah, a little sneak preview of a project. This is about 8 inches tall, a little bit of a base here. I'm thinking I might even try dyeing the wood a little bit of a light green color just to see how it works. But this is just uses these little fairy lights. You get these on Amazon for like a 4-pack for about, I don't know, like $5 or $6. And then I'm just going through kind of the pile of plywood, the offcuts and the scraps, because the only piece on here that you need to adjust for thickness is the slot that this sits down into, and it's just one dimension that you need to change. Super simple to modify for any size wood. So hopefully I'll get that launched maybe probably by Tuesday, because I got to do a little more work on it. But yeah, just a little sneak preview of things to come on my channel, and hope you can all check that out. Always appreciate the views and the comments and everything on that.
I don't get it. I don't get why it's not. It's just taking forever, and it's not showing them all. So we'll give it just a second. It's for some reason it is not. This tool is supposed to do better than that, I'm thinking, because it was up to like 170, but it just stopped. So and I kept seeing them coming up, so I hit the refresh button, and now it's like a 102. It is really messing with me.
Well,
103. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe I'm messing it up. All right, guys. So, like, just a few seconds. I'm gonna give it just a few seconds, and I'm gonna have to hit this button. Maybe if you want to put it in there again, it's not gonna make me angry. I'm gonna leave it alone because apparently I thought it would pull from all the comments, but I'm not sure if it's. I don't know if it's going backwards or not. So make sure you've put it in there. That's something I need to research, I guess, to make sure. But well, now it's jumping up big time. So yeah,
get ahead of yourself.
What's that?
You told them to enter it before you had it set up.
Well, no, it wasn't collected. I need to. I think it doesn't. It doesn't do archived stuff. So I'm gonna have to be careful with that. So just make sure you put you pound 100. Everybody do it just in case. I don't want to leave anybody out. I'd feel really guilty if I screwed somebody over. It's a $100 gift card from Amazon, which hopefully is redeemable by anybody in our area. You could don't worry about it if you put it in there twice. It's only going to let you like be picked from once. So if you're wanting to enter, please enter it again now. And I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to reach up there in a minute and hit the draw button. Because apparently, yes, you have to leave that open, and it's doing live counts, not like it's not going to go back. So we're just going to leave that be for a minute. But yeah, like I said, the Christmas live, guys, it's going to be coming up in a couple of months. So if you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, join the map, all that cool stuff. Because we are going to be giving away. Okay, now I'm collecting them now. It's doing good. So give it a few more seconds. Like I said, I don't want to leave anybody out. And if you haven't, you may want to refresh your browser if you're in the live. Now, if you're in the replay, it's not going to matter. People in the replay are going to be doing like
putting comments on the channel. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Like I said,
right, so yeah, I think we're getting there. We're getting there now. The number's starting to reflect the number of people in the live a little better. So I think we're good. I don't know that it's gotten all of them, but we'll see. And we're going to do. Who's that? Oh, not a lot. You're talking about me? Oh yeah, full time. See, I will be a professional content creator. Because right now I'm just kind of like, I just goof off in my shop. But once I retire, I will become a professional.
I don't know about creator. Professional, but maybe full time.
Hey, professional. I mean, that just means that you just do it like all the time, right? Ain't that what that means? You ain't got to be like good at it. No. Hey, I know some professional athletes that ain't that good. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Well.
All right, everybody's hit that button. Yeah, got 350 people in here, y'all. But while you at it too, go on, smash that like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Pound 100. We're gonna do 2 pulls, and if your name pops up on the screen, I'm gonna need you to like send me a message or comment in the chat because you gotta be like sitting here to claim the prize. Like Steve said earlier, if you don't claim the prize in like 2 minutes, then we're going to throw the name back. We're going to throw the draw back in the hat, and we're going to go again. So hopefully everybody can follow the directions. And let me get me a piece of paper right here if I can write it down. So, well, I guess I can go back and watch the video, but all right.
I'll just make sure to share the screen, and I'll be able to screenshot it for you as well.
Yeah, I'll take a picture. That's what I was thinking about when I was like, you know what? I'm sitting here in front of my computer. All right, guys. So last call, pound 100. Last call, $100 gift card. Y'all ready? All right. So let's go over here to add to stage, and here we go. Last call, guys. Last call. Like, hurry up. I hate to leave people out. All right, here we go. I gotta get some music for this. The suspense is killing me. Oh, what? Copyright 9/7. I ain't never heard of that one. All right, you got a comment in the chat over there. Let us know you're still here, so that we don't roll the dice again. And we're gonna be doing one more draw after that. So
there we go.
He's here. You got my email address. If you don't, it's clack@theclackshack.com. And I'm also going to need you to just to make sure that the email is coming from you there, copyright. Go ahead and put in the chat like the first 4 letters of your email address. Don't put the whole thing because I don't want the world to have your email address, but put the first 4 letters of your email address that you're going to be sending that message to me in the chat so that I'll know when you show up. And now we're going to do one more. Mine's Microsoft trying to approve. Come on, Microsoft. Just darn, they upgraded me to this higher security settings over here.
All right, you just put the stuff in there.
All right. Okay, I missed it. Did you see it?
I got it. I got it for you.
AD. Okay. Yeah, just send that to me. All right, we're gonna hit one more draw for the other one. So this is gonna be another $100 Amazon. If you hadn't put your name in the hat, you might want to go on and throw that in there right quick. Gonna do it in 10, 9. All right, y'all ready? Here we go.
Boy, you
This is the
skipped
second one.
You skipped a few numbers there.
Well, I didn't want to count out loud. I just kind of sounded goofy.
You don't start at 10 then.
Yeah, I can't say her name. I've been talking.
Yvonne.
She's been commenting. Yeah,
Yvonne
there we
Dare.
go. All right, same thing. Send me the first 4 letters of your email address so that I know that it's not a bot, because me and Steve have sat around all week trying to figure out how we can keep robots from stealing y'all stuff, and I think that's going to be the best way. So clack at theclackshack.com. Send me an email from the email address that you send me the first 4 digits of, and I need to get that pretty quick. That way the bots can't, like, because I don't want to be able to go out and create an email address and blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So yeah, Yvonne, it's my redneck redneck terminology doesn't it just doesn't. That word just stumps me. English and math were not my strong suits. But send me the email, both of you guys, so that I got your contact information, because all I'm going to be doing basically. Okay, there we go. Yep, I got the one from copyright. So I got you, and waiting on Yvonne. Once I get her information, it'll be shortly after the live, and I'll have your email addresses. So I'll let you know when everything's done. If for some reason it doesn't go through, let me know. But I've done this before, and it's usually painless. You'll literally have your funds for Amazon here in just a little while. Like, it doesn't take but like just a few seconds. So what did Yvonne say? But yeah, my email address, and most of you should be able to know it. If you don't, it's clack, and I'll drop it in the comments. So that's the one you need to send the email to there, Yvonne. I've got the one for copyright. So it scared me when it popped up copyright. And I thought, like, I done messed up something. And apparently everybody's wanting an elf costume. Okay, so does this mean that me and Steve, y'all are going to decide what costumes we wear for the Christmas live, and then we've got to wear it? Is that what I'm hearing? Because I'm game if y'all can talk Steve's 6'6" self into a costume. I think it needs to be Bigfoot. You really need to get a Bigfoot costume.
You know, we should have done this last week then, because Spirit Halloween's already closed up, you know. They're already out of town.
Okay, we'll do that next Halloween then. All right. Oh, somebody send me a link for some acrylic. I fixed to say that doesn't look like Yvonne. All right, Yvonne, waiting on your email. So I don't want to get off the live until I've gotten a way to get in touch with you in case I need some information to send this to you, because I will need certain information. I can't remember what it all is. We'll look at it once I get off the live. But Yvonne, if you could send me an email to clack@theclackshack.com.
Yeah,
so that we can
just sent it. So
yeah. It's you know how Microsoft is.
Yeah. Radu, for STL Woodworks, I'm going to drop the link in again, and you can go follow them over on YouTube, and I think he's got his other socials linked there.
Yes, and Eric as well.
And Eric, I'm getting his. So again, here's Eric, Valley Forge. Go over and follow him. Give him thanks for jumping in as well and making more of this possible. And so yeah, appreciate everybody joining us. And we still have 300 in here at the end. We were, like I said, we wanted to kind of do a special thank you for the real troopers who hung out. We do this we don't do the giveaways every week, but we do the live.
Yeah, he's trying to break a man right there.
We do a live stream every week. We've been doing it for 100 weeks straight now. and it's just a lot of hanging out and answering questions as best we can. I know we didn't get to as many questions this week with everything else going on, but we do try to help people out with problems they're having or getting started, new ideas, sharing some things that are in their shop. So we appreciate everybody hanging out with us on Sunday nights.
Yeah, I'm still not getting the one from Yvonne. I missed my little refresh button that Microsoft used to have on their software, but doesn't seem to have it now. What do you think of new Outlook? Are you seriously asking me that? It needs work. I'm waiting on the email to come through. But any more questions, guys? Anything that you want to throw in there? I'm just waiting on this because I really would hate to lose Yvonne because I have no way of messaging. Yvonne said it. So, yeah, I don't know what's up with this. It's not in my spam, is it? Let me make sure it didn't go to spam. No, doesn't appear to be. All right, I'm just waiting. Let me check my phone. Sometimes my phone does a better job collecting email.
Apparently, we need ugly Christmas sweaters.
Oof. I mean, I guess I could. Yeah, it's not coming through. I don't know. This is iOS, and it's usually pretty spot on. And I'm just drag it down, and it'll refresh. And it's not seeing it, so I don't know. Maybe we having a problem, Yvonne. So please message me on either Facebook or email or something so that I know that it's you. Just trying to get that confirmed. Yeah.
As an alternate, Yvonne, go ahead. I'm going to drop my Gmail account in there. Try sending that to me, and we'll try to make sure that either way, we want to make sure we get that back to Clack to make sure that.
No, she's in there, Sandy. She says she sent the email.
Yeah, we just want to make sure we got that communication.
There she is. But yeah, just make sure you get the email to us. If you don't hear back, just like you can go to my website and click the link there. But yeah, I said I don't want to leave you out. But since we know you're here, I think pretty good. But yeah, that'll be. I'll just be waiting on the email because it's not coming to my phone or my PC yet. So that's a possibility that maybe something got misspelled or something. But anyway, so what do you think, Steve? New record tonight. We were up to 625 at one point. That's like a personal best. Like, guys, I appreciate it. Y'all don't know that. It actually means a lot to us because when we first started this, and I don't know if any of you guys have a channel, lives, it ain't like they pay you for lives a whole lot. Like, it's literally not enough to pay for the drink that you drink during the live show most days. But it's awesome fellowship. It's awesome networking with you guys, with the other creators. Like I said, Greg from over STL, Eric from over at Valley Forged. I mean, just Cody's usually in here. Cody was in here tonight. We have at Ballard was in here earlier. I saw him in here with us. So it's really cool. We love the community. We love to hang out with folks and teach and learn and get to play with all the new machines and stuff. So we're going to keep going. And in 332 days, I will be working for this guy. I know you just don't like me basking in my awesome 332 days.
I'm very happy for you.
He says in his most condescending voice. But hey, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna come up there. I'm gonna come up there to help you sweep some snow one day or something when I retire.
I did get Yvonne's email, so we're connected with her, so we'll be able to get that worked out. So any last parting words?
No, that's it. I want to make sure we got her. I don't want to leave her out.
Yeah, so we should be good there. But yeah, so we're gonna get some emails sent. We'll get these prizes out.
Oh, wait a minute! There it goes.
What?
I got it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you got
got
it as well. Awesome. You're good. So we've got connected with everybody. We thanks everyone for stopping by. Congrats to the winners. And like I said, stay tuned for us. We do this every week, but right around Christmas, we're going to do another big show with some giveaways. We're working on some things with some sponsors, as well as some things we're going to kick in as well. But in the meantime, keep an eye out on our channels. We'll trying to ramp up the videos as Christmas season. A lot of people are looking for ideas and help on things. We've got some new equipment that's come in recently. We want to try to get some more projects out with that, and always appreciate the views and the comments and the likes and the shares, all that. We don't that's what helps us the most is just watching the content and sharing it, and interacting with us. It helps keep us going with the comments. That it's nice to, I mean, we see the numbers of the views, but when you get an actual comment, you're like, okay, hey, here's a person who actually watched it, and that's just kind of that mental motivator as well. So we appreciate that, and especially everybody coming here on the live streams.
Oh yeah. Well, we appreciate it. And for some of y'all that were asking before, I don't know if you saw my post, but if you go to my website or Facebook, YouTube, any of that, this and that vinyl, which is the people that do my shirts, now carry up to 5X. So you big guys in the room, they got 5X. And if 5X don't fit you, apparently they don't do anything bigger than that. So I'm hoping that fixes it. So appreciate y'all. Glad y'all came by and hung out with us, and we'll see y'all next Sunday. And the two winners, I'll be working on getting you your stuff here in just the next few minutes. So that's it.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.